just weeks into the new president's term, and the US is poised to send 17,000 more troops to Afghanistan. In London, a map on the office wall of the Society of Afghan Residents shows a vast nation, says spokesman Mohammed Rouhani, with fiercely independent tribes who are almost impossible to unite.
People who are fighting, against the present government, if they are not all together on one table, I think there is no way, no chance for peace.
And there are other concerns being raised in Britain about elements of the new American policy. President Barack Obama is shifting the focus of America's war effort away from Iraq and toward Afghanistan, where US officials say the security situation is worsening. Although Afghan President Hamid Karzai rules the country from Kabul, the Taliban is resurgent in the poppy-growing areas of the south and the remote mountain regions of the east. Political analyst Michael Cox of the London School of Economics says he does not believe a military victory in Afghanistan is achievable.
They must be careful not to give the impression that there is a war to be won. There isn't. Or that there's an end game. There isn't one. But the reality is that the Taliban now control large swathes of Afghanistan.
In a country where other invading powers like Russia have failed, Cox says the only viable strategy is compromise.
The question is, how can you split off elements of the Taliban into some kind of deal in which you will end up with a semi-functioning state?
As NATO Defense Ministers gathered in Poland, US Defense Secretary Robert Gates appealed to the Allies to send more troops, although he anticipated any further deployments would be limited to non-military roles. But the arrival of more troops is likely to be met with some indifference on the streets of Kabul, according to Michael Williams, an international relations expert at the University of London.
Definitely not anti-NATO or anti-American or anti-Western, but they also don't want to put their neck out too far, because if they don't feel like this enterprise is going to win, and then they'll suffer.
Mohammed Rouhani says many British-based Afghans hope President Obama will push for a compromise instead of more fighting.
If he is really, interested in Afghanistan, we will be lucky Afghan people in 2009, at least if we stop that war. Then we will start our life, to bring it to normal.
Afghans, both at home and abroad, will be watching to see how the new US strategy unfolds. Rachel Smalley, VOA News, London.